Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Glad you're here. Today we're doing Virgo April. So Virgo, this is you today. Your April reading, okay? Whenever you guys see this, if you followed the video, my readings are timeless really. That's why I don't even write it when on the video, but you know, when I'm talking, I can't help but say the date, you know, or the month. It's normal. But it's timeless. But this is for Virgo anyway, whether today, tomorrow, whatever you see it, okay? So we're going to do some astrological viewing, or we're going to see the placements, because I feel like I get a lot of important downloads while doing that for you guys. So we're just going to do it. If you're not here for the astrology, you can go down in the timestamp and just click on the reading straight up, okay? So Virgo, opposite you, your shadow kind of sign, because every sign has an opposite sign, which is the shadow of that sign. Let's say I'm a Cancer, my shadow is Capricorn, you know? So for you, Virgo, it's Pisces. So you're very strict, you're very like methodical, you're very like dutiful, you're very like, you know, kind of that Saturnian energy, although you're ruled by Mercury. You like organization, you like planning, you like schedules. But Pisces is the opposite, is the contrary of you. They're more into la la land, going with the flow and just taking it easy. So pay attention to that too, okay? And also all the placements you have in Pisces are going to be very important to look at in your chart, in your birth chart. That's a way of reading your birth chart, okay? You know, birth charts are a map, you know, with all this, the planets were when we were born. They're all cheat sheets. You know, at least that's what I believe. You don't have to believe it. Some people don't care for astrology. I love astrology. My life has changed since astrology. My intuition makes more sense. I can actually translate what I feel, what I intuit when looking at where the planets are and stuff like that. And it, believe me, it just is so much clearer for me. Okay. So anyway, Pisces is your 7th house, your opposite. And you have Jupiter, the ancient ruler, and Neptune, the modern ruler of Pisces, there with Venus. I always forget to talk about Venus. And Venus is there too. So this is about love. So since it's your 7th house, this is pertaining to your relationships. I feel like maybe some of you are too closed off to relationships in your life right now. Very judgmental, expecting a lot out of people and not just living the moment. Some of you are just like clammed up. You're not opening up. I feel, Virgo, you're very like distrustful. You know, you don't, you're really like, there's this barricade. I'm seeing the 9 of Wands kind of energy. It's fear, you know, and I don't want fear to keep you from making these amazing like connections. So maybe I'm talking about this because there's a new connection that came into your life, but you're not letting your guard down. You know, it's okay to have a wall up. It's okay to have boundaries. But in this case, Virgo, a spirit wants me to tell you that if you met someone like recently, there's something there for you. There's something meant there for you. You didn't meet this person by chance. I'm not saying you're going to marry them and blah, blah. And it could only be even just a friend. But there's something magical there. It's not a chance meeting. It's kind of serendipity. There's magic there. So you want to make sure that you're not too rigid, okay, Virgo, and too judgmental. And don't judge a book by its cover, basically, okay? Because you never know. This person, maybe if they're exuberant, they're a little bit loud. Maybe they're hiding something, you know, and maybe they're kind of just like you. I feel like somebody's mirroring you, actually. Somebody is mirroring, is doing exactly the same thing you do, and it's like pissing you off. It's like rubbing you the wrong way. Maybe that is the lesson. Somebody's going to come up and do exactly mirror you, do exactly the way, be exactly the way you act in relationships when you meet somebody. And maybe that's the lesson Spirit wants to teach you right now. Maybe that's what Spirit wants you to see right now. So pay attention to that, Virgo, okay? Also, so in your 8th house of Aries, you know, we just had the new moon on the April 1st. We just had, it's been a month now. The equinox kicked in 21st of March, which is Star in the pagan religion. And also so the sun is there and Mercury is there. So this is your 8th house. You know, there's something about your wounds, your trauma that makes you very defensive or closed off. It's like you've been so hurt. You can't project that onto other people, and you can't let that mine you. You can't let that eat you up from the inside and keep you from like your abundance or just like just beautiful things that want to come into you. You got to let those things in. You can't just put this wall up, right? So it's like, you know, and Aries is the house of self. It's I am, you know, it's a personal sign. There are a few of them, but Aries is a very, very personal sign because it's the first sign. It is the I am sign. It is kind of a childlike energy because, you know, it's young energy. It's very trusting. It trusts in its intuition and its passion and its gut feeling. It's very driven. It's curious, you know. It kind of takes risk. It's the Fool energy. So Spirit wants you to be kind of the Fool right now, Virgo. Okay, with the sun there, something beautiful wants to come in. Stop overthinking. Your ruler Mercury is there. So stop overthinking this connection, this new connection that just came into your life or is about to come in, Virgo. Okay, so then in your 9th house, you have Uranus. So your 9th house is Taurus. You have Uranus and you have the North Node. So that's your 9th house. Like I told you, this person is exactly the medicine you need right now, Virgo. There's something there that I feel like you both can heal together. It's definitely a very divine encounter, okay? Something that will both change your lives for the better. And I feel like this is a relationship that is going to be long lasting. Again, it doesn't have to be love, guys. It could be anything. It's a connection. It's that seven house energy of Libra. It's connection. It could be even a contract with somebody that you're about to get into business with or whatever. You know, it could be somebody hiring you. But anyway, no matter what connection it is, there's friendship there. There's friendship, there's love, there's respect, and there's healing. Okay, Virgo? Why am I holding the sage and it's already turned off? I got stuck in the channeling. Okay, Virgo, so a connection. Let your guard down, Virgo. I feel it strongly, all right? If you hear noise, it's my son doing, I don't know, he's acting like a mouse. He's eating chips and whatever. Anyway, so that's what's happening in your 9th house. Now let's go a little bit backwards. So 6th house, you have Aquarius. And you have Saturn and Mars there. So it's like, it's kind of, it's the way the things you expect from people. You've become so rigid and judgmental and dogmatic, Virgo. Again, going back to your 9th house of Taurus with Uranus and North Node, your dogma, your beliefs, they're very strict. They're very like impenetrable. It's just like, it is what it is. I know everything. No, you don't. No, you don't. Be open to learning. Be open to new things. Don't try to put things in a box. You can't expect from somebody else that has his own shit and his own story to be a certain type of way. Do you know what I mean? And anyway, you be the best you, and you will attract the best version of the people that come to you. Now, if you're judgmental, you will attract only that. Because it will seem like those are the only people that get you. Because they're expecting stuff from other people too. They're judgmental just like you. But right now, Spirit wants to open you up to something else because you've been stuck for a long time, Virgo. A lot of you have been hermiting. You are the hermit. A lot of you have been hermiting because you're like, oh, everybody gets on my nerves. I don't even want to go out. Let me just stay here in my house. At least I don't get annoyed. I don't get annoyed. Okay? Not answering calls. Maybe there's maybe one person you do, maybe, you know, because there's always one person, right? Otherwise, I mean, we need people, guys, okay? It's good to hermit and stuff, but we cannot live alone. We are not here to live alone. I'm the first one to say it. I'm like that myself. I'm a Virgo moon. I don't have friends. Real friends? No. First of all, here in Paris, I don't have friends. I'm here. I don't want to be here. I'm here because I'm stuck here. I'm not going to get into why. But I never would have chose to live here. But I'm here now. Okay? And I'm going to make the best of it. But I still have this problem where I can't open up because I feel like everybody is stupid. You know what I mean? And every time I open up, I get disappointed. But you know what? It's getting better though, because now I'm opening up And I'm just like opening up and taking whatever I comes to me from it, but still being conscious of my boundaries and what is acceptable and non-acceptable to me. So, but I don't just like nip it in the butt or go like, no, from the get-go. I give it a chance. That's what I want to advise you. That's what Spirit wants you to do. Even if you get disappointed, you don't know. Give a chance. Give this relationship a chance, basically. Whatever relationship this is. Okay, guys? All right. Because, you know, sixth house, Mars, Saturn, there's something you need to learn there. And don't be judgmental. Don't be quick to judge, okay? Or to tell people what they need to do or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Give them a chance, okay? And also, in your fifth house of Capricorn, we do have Pluto. Your passion has been dead. I mean, you're lacking passion. You're lacking excitement. You've given up. You've given up. You've given up. It's time you change that. It's time you be a little bit more open, like I said. You have to be more open, Virgo, okay? Now, last but not least, in the zodiac kind of energy, the last thing that's happening is the South Node in Scorpio, which is your third house, communication. Your Scorpio is your third house. See, it's you coming up with those things that maybe necessarily, even if they're true, Virgo, because you do speak the truth, you're very fair, you're very, but you're not always right. And not every truth is called for, basically. Okay? Not every truth is called for, Virgo. So, there's a lot of judgment here. There's a lot of judgment, and you're doing this to yourself because it's keeping you stuck. Although you think you're doing the right thing and you know that what you're doing, what you're saying, within your heart, you're coming from somewhere you're not coming from a bad place, but it kind of makes you the party pooper too. You know what I'm saying? Always complaining, Virgo. Always like frustrated because it's coming from your frustrations, you know, even if it's truth. It's maybe you're saying it to help, but you're saying it in such a frustrated way that what good is that? The message you're trying to convey doesn't even come through, you know? The empathy and the compassion you're giving this message, with which you're giving this message, it doesn't even come through because you're so frustrated, okay? So breathe, Virgo. Open up, breathe, and give your relationships a chance. Give this relationship a chance. Okay, Virgo? All right, let's get into the reading. We'll get an astrological card here, and then we'll get Astro dice, and then we'll just go from there. Okay, Spirit, we'll do it for Virgo April, please. You know, the funny thing is, like, you have a hard time opening up to new people, yet you don't have a problem going back to your old relationships, especially loved ones, you know, like ex-lovers, boyfriends, that you don't have a problem with. When those are the kind of relationships you should be more judgmental about. You should be more clear about and blunt and, like, you know, straight to the point. Those, no, somehow you don't feel, maybe it's safe because you're like, I already know, they already know, I don't have to open up because it is what it is. You know, been there, done that. I feel that too. But you have a hard time with new ones, right? Because you can't, they don't know, you know, it's like they don't know you, you don't know. It's new. You're very afraid of the new right now, or maybe it's your nature altogether. But right now, especially, there's a fear. There's fear of connecting. All right? Don't be afraid to connect, Virgo, okay? To open up here. Neptune, dreams. Your seventh house, yes. You have to believe in the good in people. Don't base, like, every relationship, every encounter on those past relationships that you somehow keep in your life. I don't know for what. For security? It's attachment. Attachment is no bueno, okay? So you have Pisces, Neptune there with, you have Neptune, which is in Pisces right now, your seventh house. So you have Neptune and Jupiter there. Broaden your horizons, okay? Lift the veil, believe in the magic again. Like I said, you don't have to marry this person. I don't know, just give it a try. Give it a try. okay? Have this like kind of like compassion for yourself where you don't restrict yourself. I mean, restricting oneself is pretty self-sabotaging. You know what I mean? And it's pretty, why would you do that to yourself? Self-restrict, you know? That's heavy energy. Self-restrict. It's almost like you're not confident that you can handle the situation and whatever comes, you know? I mean, restricting yourself, putting up boundaries, paranoia and all that stuff, it's fear. You have to open up and just give it a chance. Believe in the dream, believe in the enchantment. Just meeting someone for the first time, even if they turn out to be shits, you know, there's so much in that initial rapport because there's excitement in the initial rapport. It's then that people or are authentic and it becomes this beautiful thing, enchanting encounter, or that's when they start, you know, turning into something else, right? It's the honeymoon phase, like we call it. But even just the honeymoon phase is worth it, whether, because there are honeymoon phases with friends too. Friend, love, whatever. That honeymoon phase is very enchanting. There's something to be taken there from that. There's something to be learned from that. There's an exchange happening there. Only just for that, at least, you know, it's worth it. The sacrifice is worth it, right? Even if you'd have to, it turns out to be, wow, everything that you didn't want or whatever, and you have to pick up the pieces. It doesn't matter. But you have to open up. We can't just like shut everything down because we're paranoid or we're thinking it's going to fail. If you're already going into saying it's going to fail, it's going to fail because you're going into it with that kind of energy. All right, Virgo? Okay. Astro dice for Virgo, Spirit. Well, here you are, Virgo. Look at that. 7th house, Pisces. So you have 7th house 2 times. Neptune here, which is in Pisces, and 7th house. 2 times 7th house. So this is about relationships for sure. Felt it, felt it, felt it. You're here, Virgo. So we're talking to you. Spirit's like, we're talking to you, Virgo. And then you have Saturn. Saturn's telling you, Virgo, you're too strict. You're too bossy. You're too demanding. Okay? So, where's Saturn? Saturn's in your 6th house. You're too bossy, you're too demanding. You can't expect people to be what you want them to be. You can't teach people. Saturn 7th house. You're not the teacher of them. You're not the boss of them. They're going through things. You're going through things. How about we just like lighten it up? Dreams, Neptune. Let's just make it light. Let's make it a little bit lighter here. I feel like you guys, it's like black or white. Sometimes you go off, you just go into this freaking Neptunian energy, Jupiterian energy, because it's, like I said, it's your shadow, your 7th house. It's like, it's all or nothing. Again, like I told you, you don't have a hard time going to your exes and acting like, oh, woo, because you're like, I don't care. Been there, they know what's up. I don't have to pretend to be anything. There's a lot of pretending you're doing, Virgo. Pretending not to care. Pretending not to be interested. I feel that a lot. So, but then when it comes to like new ones, you're like, I don't even want to bother. It's too much work for me. No, I'm going to have to start planning, analyzing. I don't want to do that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Why would you? Especially when it's something new, the unknown. You can't plan the unknown. You can't know the unknown, right, Virgo? It's impossible. Okay, so let's get into the tarot. Spirit's going to give us some more information here. Oh, what did I say? No, we're going to get an energy oracle first. Spirit, what's the overall energy for Virgo, please? I just thought in my head the thinking woman. getting all paranoid about this person you met or you're about to meet. I'm even tired. All right. Overall energy for Virgo, please, Spirit. And you know, maybe it's because you haven't healed yet. For some of you, I mean, definitely if you're going back to these old relationships, which are clearly attachments, and you know them, been there, done that, yeah, have they made you grown? Yes. Is there anything they need to teach you? No. So why are you still entertaining that? Why? Because there's something there you haven't healed in order to let it go. All right. Your heart chakra. You got to open your heart, Virgo. Archangel Raphael. You got to open your heart, guys. You have Neptune, Pisces, which is all about the heart chakra, Pisces. Neptune, we'll love Pisces. It's all about the heart chakra. You have to open your heart. Opening your heart is trusting. It's that full energy I was talking about. Opening your heart is faith. It's trust. That no matter what, I'm going to be okay. And not expecting the worst. Knowing that your heart is pure. Knowing that you will always do the right thing. Knowing that no matter what, you know, it might hurt, but it's not your story. That somebody that hurts you is because they're hurt. You know, you got to trust your heart. That it's okay. You're protecting your little beautiful heart. You're so scared. It's okay, Virgo. You need to open up. There's something beautiful that wants to come in here. I told you. With Neptune and Jupiter in your 7th house of Pisces, something beautiful wants to come in, but you have to open your heart. Okay? All right. Let's see what you've gone over here. What healing is about to happen or happened or you're going through right now, or all three. Who knows? Since it's technically the new year, you know, with this equinox. So, let's see. These are the Soul's Journey cards. Spirit, what do you have for Virgo? Virgo, please. Spirit. Balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Hello? Without judgment. It's letting people come as they are, and you come as you are. You strip away your fears. Even if they come with fears, at least you're not coming with fears. Imagine if two people come together with fears. I mean, where are we going? Nowhere. Nowhere. That's just going back into a karmic relationship. Who the hell wants that? So you have to make sure at least your heart is open. And that you are balanced. You recognize your light, your dark. You know you've done the healing. You know yourself. And you're not judgmental. You're clear, level-headed. Your heart is open. Okay? You have to be open. You have to approach life. You have to approach your next connections or disconnection with balance and an open heart, and trusting that your heart will never, your intuition will never lead you down the wrong path. Anyway, your heart is your heart, your dear little heart. You've healed it. It is yours. Don't be afraid. No one's going to break it. If you've healed and you're balanced, there's no reason somebody could come in. There's no room for somebody to come in and break it, you know? It's weird. It's like people think, oh, if I open my heart, well, I opened it, so it's my fault if they come in and, you know, stomp on it. It's the contrary. Isn't it crazy? When your heart is open, it's the contrary. Because the heart is where love resides. And love is the biggest transmuter of all energies, is love. All right, guys? So you want to make sure of that, Virgo, that you're in a good place, you're balanced, you're not too judgmental, you're not too open. There's a right, just middle, okay? So you got to be balanced, okay? Again, remember I was telling you guys, for you, it's all or nothing. There's a balance that has to be had here. Remember I was telling you, it's all or nothing. No, you have to find the middle. Okay? All right. Now, let's get into tarot. Sorry if you hear something in the background. My son's on the, whatever. He's watching something. I hope it's not too loud. Okay. Spirit, what do you have for Virgo, please? Give us details, Spirit, please. Again, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. When you are in harmony, when you are balanced, nothing can affect you. Balance is a magician's act. Literally. Balance is everything. Five of Wands, your inner struggle, your inner conflict. Non-balanced at all. Five of Wands, this is you fighting with yourself. This is you being judgmental with just like everybody that comes into your life, especially the new ones, and also with the old relationships. I'm telling you, this is that energy that you're used to, and it's okay with you. These are you're like this either with the old paradigm, the old people that you still keep in your life. Again, I don't know why. And you're like this with even the new ones that come in. So there's definitely something that needs to be balanced here. There's something, your energy needs to be, you need to shift it. You need to shift your perspective. You need to open up, Virgo. You need to let go of these attachments that are maybe keeping you unbalanced. All right? You need a break. You need a break. Four of Swords. You need a rest. I feel like you need to detach for a second, because there's a push and pull. I feel like you're smack in the middle between these old relationships that you're entertaining and this new relationship that wants to come in. Now, I don't want to say, because I don't see the cards, that I don't see it in the cards yet, but maybe you're like still dealing with an ex. You guys are broken off, but you're still seeing each other, although it's over and you know it. You both know it. At least you know it. Maybe they're pursuing you and you just go back all the time, or it's over, but you guys still entertain some kind of relation, whatever. You can do whatever you want, no judgment. And there's this new person, but you're so focused on this here because it's familiar that you can't even open up to that. All right, guys? So no, Virgo, no. Whatever it is, you need to get rid of this energy. For anything, you need to get rid of this energy in order to move forward, in order to call in the things that you desire. If you're in this energy, you're not going to be able to call in what you want or what is meant for you. Okay, whether it's in love or relationships, love or friendship or whatever. Okay, all right. Let's get more for Virgo, please, Spirit. You need to detach. Wow, did you see how that's done? Seven of Pentacles. Yes, something you've done, you know it's dead. It's dead. Nothing is going to grow from there, but you keep going back. You need to detach. You need to remove yourself, Virgo. You need to remove yourself. One more card. You're over here standing in a desert. Willingly. What are you doing in the desert? There's no growth. There's no light. There's no shine. There's no prospect. There's no hope. There's no hope. Okay? Like voluntarily keeping yourself in the dark. Metaphorically. Okay? It's time for a new beginning. Princess of Swords. It's time for a new beginning. Okay? Where you change your perspective. where you have intelligent conversations, where you have conversations with people that, resonate with the new Virgo. But the new Virgo, that's why you need to rest with this Four of Swords. You need to have conversations with people that give you food for your thoughts. You need a change of scenery. You need to cut these old paradigms out of your life, Virgo, because they're stale. There's no growth. It's time for a change. And change wants to come in. Are you willing to let it in? One last card, please, Spirit. Funnily enough, this is a sword, which is Mercury energy. It's air, but look at her. She has this medallion. It's earth signs. So this is you guys too. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. See? It's the earth sign symbol. I just saw that. You have a falcon. You have the lotus, the bottom of the sword, rebirth, new ideas, new conversations, new people, Virgo. Okay? Yeah, you gotta let go of the old people. I just heard when I was shuffling, attachments. You need to let go of these people. This is what you're doing. You're allowing this, Virgo. You're in this environment that is crepuscule. You know the crepuscule? Both of these cards remind me of the crepuscule. Is it even an English word? It's a French word. I think crepuscule exists. Crepuscule is just right when the sun is setting and nightfall, before nightfall. It's when the sun is setting. It's crepuscule. Isn't that usually the time where all the monsters come out? In Senegal, I remember when I was a child, they're like, don't go out while the crepuscule, because that's when the jinns come out. You let it go. I remember. Yeah, it was a superstitious stuff, whatever. But still, doesn't make sense. Look at all the movies. It's always a crepuscule, when night falls, that all the monsters come out, the vampires, the blah, 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 the blah, 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 right? You're in crepuscule right now. It's time for a new dawn, Virgo. It's time to get out of that darkness. Here too, crepuscule. These cards are so full of strife, confusion, heaviness, mental, arguments, staleness. It's like you fight, you argue, da 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 da, and then you're left drained and you go back and do it again. It's insanity. This is insanity. Ten of Swords, you have to let it go. It's like a merry-go-round, but a very, very, very toxic merry-go-round of people where you do the same things together and it always ends up the same way, or it seems like, but behind the back, it's so behind you guys. When each of you go away, it's like everybody's talking behind everybody back. It's like toxic. Definitely not balanced. Definitely not magical. It's full of confusion. It's not love. There's no compassion. No good memories are going to be built off of that. It's attachment. There's no growth. There's no imagination. There's no creativity there. It's stuck energy. And Spirit is trying to redirect you right now. I mean, come on. You have 9th house. Uranus there, a North Node. It's a new vision that Spirit wants to come and bring into you. New vision, new conversations. Okay? It's time for new conversations, new connections. All right, Virgo. Okay. It has to end. It has to stop. Okay. All right. Let's get into the oracle now. We're going to get 2 oracles. We're going to get a empathic oracle, and we're going to finish it off with a wisdom. So I hope this reading was helpful for you, Virgo, but there are new connections that want to come in, new conversations. But you have to say goodbye to the old ones. You have to finally sever the old ties here. The merry-go-round. You have to make that sacrifice. Okay? And it's not even a sacrifice when you know that you are promised like amazing connections, Neptune and Jupiter in your 7th house, with Venus, connections that love you. If not, even just do it for yourself, for love of self, you know? You know it's toxic. Phases. It's time for a new phase. It's time for new connections. Phases, the moon. This emotional merry-go-round, you know? It's like, oh, I'm never going to talk to them again. It's done. They do something stupid, but they always seem to do that, right? But you still go back, just like the moon. You're like, I'm fed up, full moon. And then you're just like, oh, and then you go back. And you find yourself there again. And it's like, oh, here we go. We're doing it again. That's that 7 of Pentacles energy. Insanity is repeating something with no results over and over again. That's what you're doing with these relationships, though. This is definitely about relationships, connections. People you do something together with. I mean, some of you, it's something very toxic that you shouldn't be doing. But because you have this in common, too, that keeps you tethered to them. I don't know what that is. Some of you, it is addictions. Because remember, your shadow, Pisces, does deal with addictions. Okay, Spirit. All right, we got that message loud and clear. And you rule repetitiveness. You rule, you know, doing something over and over again. There's a lot. It's kind of insane, Virgo. I have to be true, okay? You definitely need balance and rest right now. You need to heal your heart chakra. And I'm telling you, as soon as you do that, you're going to meet these people, this person. And I think this person has already showed up in your life, like I said, or is about to. But you're going to have to recognize, you're going to have to take the first step. You're going to have to trust the divine. You're going to have to really connect with your intuition and your perception to understand what this is. That this is actually supposed to save you. It's supposed to bring an awakening, a realization. I hope this reading finds you because it is the message you need, I feel. All right? Last but not least for Virgo, please. Yep, you got to change your community. Guys, your reading is all about relationships, friendships, connections. It's time for new connections, guys. Straight up. Connections you can count on, you can grow with. It's an 8 expansion, Jupiterian energy, Sag. Again, Uranus there with the North Node in your, expansion, Jupiter, which is rules the 9th house of Sag. But for you, it's Taurus is your 9th house. But then 8th house, you know, is Aries. You standing up, you showing up as you are, and you know, you got to be it to attract it. But if you think you're fooling yourself, if you're like, oh, I don't want to open up, they're just gonna hurt me. But then, okay, so why are you going back to the old assholes that are hurting you? It makes no sense, Virgo. It makes no sense. So, you know what? Take time, reflect. Stay by yourself. 4 of Swords, rest. Find back your balance. Ask yourself, take the time to ask yourself, do that Hermit thing. You are the rule of the Hermit card. You represent the Hermit card. Find, you know, try to make sense of this. Like, it's time for reflection here, Virgo. It's time to reflect, okay? Because definitely new communications coming in, new conversations, new connections are wanting to come in. But you're going to drop these old attachments here. These people that are no good, no growth there, nothing. I mean, why would you want to be stuck there? Okay? It's time for new connections, new conversations. I know I'm repeating myself, but it's strong. It's coming. It's coming strong, strong, strong. All right, guys? Love you, Virgo. Guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and makes, you know, helps other people see the video. People that need it, you know, that might need it. So it's very important. That's what I'm here for. And I will see you next time. And I hope you have a wonderful Saturday and Sunday. Okay. Bye, Virgo.